Okay, this video is going to show us how to create an animation of a reflection in a coordinate plane. And we're going to use PowerPoint as our tool to do this. All the way on the left side is our slide sorter. I'm going to go to the slide that has our coordinate plane. I have a red dashed line drawn on the x-axis because that's the line we're going to reflect across. And the directions say create a flipbook animation that reflects a figure over the x-axis. First, we have to begin by drawing a figure. So I'm going to go to Insert, Shapes. I'm going to choose a trapezoid. I want to try to create some good points here that are easy to follow along with. So I clicked on my bottom right point being at about 8.3, and I dragged it till the bottom left point was at about 4.3. And if I need to, I can use my arrow tools to slide this left and right very small amounts until they're lined up. I see my top points aren't lined up so well. I can change the height of this or use this yellow handle to change the width of it so it fits better. And now it looks like it fits pretty good. I have this point looks like 5.6, 7.6, 8.3, 4.3. I have some good points to work with. And again, I can use my arrow tools to fine adjust moving and positioning it. Now we would like to make a reflection of this over the x-axis. And remember our discussion was that each point must move perpendicular and equidistant to the axis. So I'm going to make a copy of this shape. I'll click off on a blank area and paste. And I'm going to make it a flip. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That looks like where our reflection should go. And I'm using my arrow keys to adjust the location. And now we're going to want to animate this. I'm going to make a copy of my horizontal line and make it shorter. And I have it lined up between the vertices because as I'm doing my reflection, the vertices need to follow this path. So I'll make another copy of this line, line up with another set of vertices, and then with the far vertices. So from the top left corner all the way down, it needs to follow that path. Make a copy and paste. And these lines are there just for us to follow. We can take them out later to make the animation look much cleaner, but they are tools to guide us as we do this frame by frame. Now we want to take our top shape. You can see I selected it because the handles all showed up. We're going to right click or two finger click on it, and from the menu choose Bring to the Front. And now we're going to make this piece animate and move. So let's begin by duplicating the slide. Go all the way to the left and choose Duplicate Slide when you right click. And this slide is going to be where we start our animation. Now as we animate, we're going to move it a little bit closer, and we're going to make it just a little bit shorter. Because as something flips, eventually it should be that you're looking at the very top edge of it that looks like skinny, and then it comes over. You see how I drag the top and over? Well, that's what we want it to do as we're moving through here. So we're going to duplicate the slide again. And now this new one, I'm going to move down a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller again. And then we'll duplicate the slide again. And we'll bring it down. And you see how our vertices are following the red lines. And we expect that by the time we get to the line of reflection that our shape should be just a skinny line. Duplicate the slide. Let's move it down. So now we're going to move it to the other side of the line of reflection. I didn't change its size. The size is the same, it just went to the other side of the line of reflection. We'll duplicate the slide, and now we'll start to move and make it bigger. And by making it bigger means that it's starting to become flatter. And now that I see that my bottom parts here are lined up, I need to line up my top parts as well, and that completes the reflection. So now we can go back to the top slide, and we can use our down arrow to see how this transitions through. And now we can go back up. Now that we've done all that work, we can remove and delete all of these parts. I'm going to hold down the Shift key as I click on them so I can delete them all at once. And I'll go to the next slide, and I will hold the Shift key and then hit delete. All I want to keep is my piece that is actually doing the transformation. Right, so I'm clicking the line, holding down my Shift key, I'm not letting up. While my Shift key is held down, I selected all 4 lines and the other shape and hit delete. So now I'm scrolling back up to the top, clicking on the first slide. I'm going to hit the down arrow, and it looks like an animation that was a flip over the x-axis. So now we want to get this ready to export. So I'm going to click on my first slide that's animating, and my second to last slide. Notice the orange rectangle is around all of those slides except for the last slide and the first slide. And I want these to automatically transition. So with all of these highlighted in orange, we go up to the menu and choose transitions. All the way to the right side, we're going to take the checkbox out of on mouse click, and we're going to put it on after. And at the very end, we're going to change that last 0 to a 1 and hit enter. And now, if we click on slideshow and say play from start, this one is not going to transition, but as soon as I hit the key on my keyboard, the down arrow, it'll start the animation and it'll be animated. And we saw it went right through. And now I'm pressing the up arrow to go backwards. And there's our animation. Right, hit escape to get out of it. Now we're ready to export this as a movie. So we can say File, Export. We're going to choose from the drop down. The PDF is going to be MP4. And presentation quality, good. It says use recorded timings and narrations. Yes, that's going to be the 1 second we put in. And then seconds spent on each slide without a time setting. We'll put it down to 2 seconds for the title screen, and then hit export. And at the bottom of the PowerPoint, you see there's a little progress bar. It's moving from left to right. As soon as it's done, that means the movie's done. That's done. Let's go to our desktop. Here's our movie. Let's watch it. We're going to hit the play button. So we spent 2 seconds on the title screen, and then there's our flip. We'll play it again. So that was our animation. This is just one of many that we're working on, and our end goal is going to be able to put this all together with multiple animations to make a more interesting film using geometric transformations to accomplish that task.